Now, this is going to get out, Mr. Pack. I don't care. I'm going to help it. It's funny. We sort of want our enemies to talk about it now. They won't say a word. Come on, talk, tell people. Don't shut up now. They know it would serve our purpose. So our enemies have gone mute. They're deaf mutes. But they won't be able to help themselves. They're too full of hate. And they'll eventually kick into gear and start mocking, and the word will get out. But there'll be thousands of people hearing it from us, not just our enemies. Why would God show us Abib 1 in a definitive way? Absolutely inarguable. I don't care what any enemy knows. I hope the whole world hears it. They won't. They won't believe it. They're not going to believe it even after the kingdom comes. Misery loves company. I'm so glad to know others of you are suffering in this same way. It gives me comfort. No, I'm kidding. Or am I? Let me think. But I mean, you know, all that will live godly in Christ Jesus shall suffer persecution. It's just, I'm going to give this message, and the enemies will attack me, and they'll say, do you know what he said? Because there are people who listen to this. You know what he said? He flattered them and told them they were all prophets. What a wicked man. You can't even believe the stuff that's said about me. It's funny. I've learned to just laugh about it. I mean, attack the enemies trying to stop me, attack the course I have to run, and so forth. That's what I do. More evil things have been said about me than Mr. Armstrong, because the internet made it possible. Beware when all men speak well of you. I often will tell people, I have no worries about that, because there's not even close. You teach the truth of God, you will come under fire. And there's a lot of bad guys out there waiting for us. People went for Mr. Armstrong. They wanted his throat. They wanted the apostles in prison. They're going to come after me. Is it a coincidence that I believe I became the seventh messenger on the 13th day? I literally believe that on the 13th day of Adar, exactly 30 years ago. I was certainly smitten by the fist of wickedness. We've lived through the day of small things, and as a result, attacked and attacked and attacked from inside and out. You just can't let them sail into the kingdom. Blew off all the truth that we have and attack us, lie to us and lie about it. We've had to wait 25 years. No wonder. Attacked, lied to, lied about, lied to, attacked. People come lie to us, lie about us, sow division, come looking for jobs. God will sort it all out. I wish them all well. Because there's hell all around us. We're under constant attack by liars and satanic people. And there was one era of God's church that had to work in this murderous, wicked environment where people among us would attack us, lie to us, lie about us, steal from us. We've had criminals, heretics, every vile person, every kind of axe grinder, heretic, opportunist, rebel you could ever imagine have been in this work over the last 22 years. I mean, we've got people so wicked besieging us. I finally came to understand what Habakkuk 2:5 is. The wicked compassing the righteous. People who were once with us are more wicked almost than the devil. And we got some of our brethren seem to want to listen to what they say. It's strange. So I'm expecting next Tuesday, and I know there are enemies among us who are dead men walking. Maybe you only need one, and they'll post it to evil men. Don't worry about it. It may shake some people. Don't worry about it. If I'm going to tell you, it's going to go online. There are people the wicked don't understand, and they'll commit suicide in 2 seconds, and just know that we're all the ones committing suicide. So don't worry about that. Once this is out, it's going to be interesting. Maybe it'll be quiet, or maybe we'll find out there's some reason the devil's at my right hand when it all starts. I don't know. Hopefully, brethren, I put the series in its proper perspective, what it was, and what it contained, and what it was not, which is 450 sermons on prophecy. That's what our enemies say, because that's the best way to depict it. They're the same people who say, Pack wants your money. When I don't get your money, and I gave up 2 of my inheritances, and I don't get a raise when people pay common, the real truth is the liars saying that they want your money, stay with them, and depict us as false, just like they depict us as saying, oh, they're talking about prophecy for 7.5 years? Come on. But I can understand if some who are sitting here depict it that way, then what are our enemies going to say? Particularly when they're most likely to hear from those who leave us that that's the way to see the series. The most vicious, evil, wicked-hearted men I have ever dealt with, I've dealt with in this church. And they're the most murderous, lying, thieving people in many cases that have come into our ministry. So it's a curious anomaly that you see the ministers who are supposed to be teaching the truth abusing, lying, stealing, things that would just curl your hair 10 times over if I told you. I've learned to sit in that room up there. We talk about doctrine and know that I might be sitting across from or next to a minister who's going to try to destroy this church within an hour. They're utterly murderous, lying thieves, and I know what's going to happen to them. When Christ comes, they're going to be cut asunder. It's impossible to separate Joseph from the story of this little flock that sold all, that did these amazing things under ferocious fire and attack by people who wanted us as dead as that shooter wanted the president. The mockers and scoffers who were saying, where's parousia, would sort of be right. Maybe there'll be some final attack on us. I promise you this sermon will get out and there'll be mockers. There are wicked people who are excited about what they can do to us. They can't stop us. What we came through had to be fire. We caught hell from the left, hell from the right, north, south, east, and west in this church. And here we sit, the murderous people who left us and attacked us, who never came with us, of course, could not destroy the church. So we're doing fine. We're doing fine. And eventually you just come to realize that we've endured for almost 24 years beatings by evil people who've done everything in their power to destroy this work. I kind of rush and call it out. And sometimes there's too much to rush through. But would he let our enemies know? But let's phrase it this way. Would he let his enemies know who are monitoring what we're learning? Would he do that? Or change the last great day? I'm telling you, it's locked. And there's liable to be, because we have evil people among us, one or two, that's all you need. This will get out. There's going to be some persecution. Might be a little tough. If I released it, some of the relatives of our members around the world study the internet to attack the relatives who are in the restored Church of God. They give them no end of grief, and I would literally be fueling some of the family members because of what enemies post, and the trouble would mount for some of you out there that sure wish you had that document on your lap, but are glad that your relatives, for those of you who experience this, your relatives cannot throw things up in your face that look crazy to them because they just don't understand it. I know enough. I know we have even outright enemies among us. And I know other things, people who hold wrong ideas. I don't know how many people outside are enemies or getting these tapes and so forth. But if Christ comes as a thief, in a way, we can't know. Or certain enemies are going to know, and maybe God doesn't want that. And I've said that before. There are people who are in this church, and some will have left the church and attack us. My enemies will say, he prophesied this date. I did not. I taught you that as surely as I teach you to keep the Sabbath. There's a group that anticipates and expects both day and hour. And then there are people who have left us and attacked us who are expecting neither. That doesn't mean because they lost patience with the process that God lost patience with them. Those who leave an attack and try to murder the church are in a very different category. But when's it going to happen? This date, that the other date. Of course, our enemies love to talk about how I got dates wrong. And they don't remember Mr. Armstrong did. They don't remember all the apostles did. And they went their entire life. The apostles went their entire lives telling people that they lived in the last days and God recorded it. Our enemies never talk about what I say is coming, only he said this date and he said that one and the other one. And we've been wrong. But yet God still considered it prophesying. I know what our enemies, wicked people who are on a very short clock, will point out they hate. I mean, 2/3 of people are going to hate God when he set up his first kingdom. They're going to hate you. It has been of of a comfort greater than I could imagine to me when under ferocious attack, because one man alone couldn't put this all together in 8.5 years. So, but I'll just tell you, when you settle on a date, you are settling on an eternal date. You don't want that pressure on you, I promise you. You have no idea how many of our enemies are sitting out there mocking what I took on that nobody else even saw. You have no idea. I mean, when is interesting. It's just not fun for Mr. Pack to research and try to get right. It's just very difficult. It invites the attack of enemies. If I had not done that, I mean, these same enemies who couldn't care less what the Bible says God is going to do, couldn't care less. But boy, do they want to catch a wrong date. So if I could do that over again, I definitely would. I would marvel. Father, I'm doing everything in my power to provide beautiful literature, the best telecasts, the most beautiful environment, a college. They get a calendar that was better than anything we ever saw in Worldwide. They get an envoy that was as good as anything a great big church ever provided. Community gardens, camps, feast sites all over the world, time off, and they wanted to murder us, all except for those who just blew their crown and left. And couldn't leave quietly. Many of them had to attack us. Makes me sad every time I think about that. You were made a gazing stock. We're mocked like you wouldn't believe right now. You just wouldn't believe it. Such short notice allows Christ to come as a thief. It says 4 times he comes as a thief. Even the enemies who wish us all dead won't have time to hear this. We sort of want our enemies to talk about it now. They won't say a word. Come on, talk, tell people, don't shut up now.